I read this book so often, the pages already fall apart. I bought it in Hong Kong on a business trip more than 20 years ago. Rich Dad Poor Dad was recommended to me by my Chinese business partner. I was working for a manufacturing company. I traveled for business and I thought I understood how money worked. I didn't. This book didn't change my life in a dramatic way. It just made me think differently. 2 ideas from this book changed how I look at money. Years later, I added another rule from a second book, which I will show you later. Together, they became the framework I still use today. The first lesson is simple, but it forces you to be honest with yourself. Know the difference between an asset and a liability. You won't find Kiyosaki's definition in a school textbook or in Wikipedia. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. Simple definition, but almost nobody applies it honestly. Let me give you real examples. An asset can be a stock portfolio that pays dividends, an ETF that grows over time, a rental property that pays you cash flow, a business that generates income and generates profit without you being there every hour. Even Bitcoin, if you treat it like a long-term store of value. Those are assets. They send money towards you. They put money into your pocket. A liability is different. A car with monthly payment, a bigger apartment with a higher rent, subscriptions that you don't use or barely use, new gadgets you don't need, lifestyle upgrades that increase your monthly cost. They pull money away from you. They take money out of your pocket. When you start looking at your life through this lens, something shifts. You stop asking, can I afford this? And start asking, does this make me poorer or richer? Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And let me be clear, it's completely fine to buy a liability from time to time. A nice car, a better apartment, a nice vacation. Life is not about eliminating all spending. The key is awareness. If you know it's a liability and you choose it consciously, that's very different from believing you're building wealth. That awareness alone already changes your financial future. The second pillar is even more powerful. Pay yourself first. Most people do the opposite. They pay their bills, then they spend what's left and they hope to save something at the end of the month. But there's never anything left. When I started paying myself first, I didn't have much. But I treated my future self like a bill that has to be paid. Every month, before anything else, I invested. Not because I was rich, but because I wanted to stop being broke in the future. These 2 lessons laid the foundation. I built a stock portfolio. I became careful about my liabilities. I became aware of where my money was going. But something was still missing. Years later, I read another book, Money by Tony Robbins, and one idea completed the system. This became pillar number 3. The rule is simple. Choose a fixed percentage of your net income and invest it automatically every month. According to Tony Robbins, it can be 10 to 20%. For me, it is 20% of my net income. No decisions, no emotions, no timing the market, just consistency. The key is when you invest, not at the end, but at the start of the month. That's how you truly pay yourself first. And the most important rule, never take money out of that portfolio. Not for a car, not for a vacation, not for an emergency. This is not spending money, this is freedom money. I call it my freedom fund. Not my emergency fund, not my vacation fund, my freedom fund. Because this money represents options. Options to say no, options to change career, options to walk away from things that don't serve you. Knowing these funds exist changes how you make decisions. You're no longer trapped, you're choosing. So my financial life stands on 3 pillars. Number 1, know the difference between an asset and a liability. Number 2, pay yourself first. Number 3, automatically invest into assets and never touch it. This isn't about getting rich fast. It's about building a strong foundation for yourself and maybe for your children one day. I'm not a financial guru. I'm just someone who made mistakes in the past and learned late. And I decided to do better. If you're trying to rebuild your life, your career, or your financial future, you're not alone. This channel is about figuring it out, step by step.